This little bit of work here ended up being a complete bricklaying disaster. Hi everyone, how are we all doing? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the house build vlogs. We've got a lot to get done today, so let's just consult the list from last episode. If you haven't seen that episode, then check it out down below and then we'll see exactly what the plan is for today. So last episode we got the guttering in, we ordered the windows, put in the cavity closers, and I bricked in that window reveal that needed to get done. So today what we're going to be doing is just finishing the rest off. Obviously the drop the scaffolding we might not be able to get done today, but so first thing we'll do, I think we'll get the easy stuff done. Broken tiles, fix the lump in the roof tiles, and do the black muck to the ridge tiles. I think those are the first things we're going to do. So let's start with the easiest of them all, the broken tiles. Right, so looking at the back of the house, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4 broken tiles, and then we have, that's the lump that needs to get sorted out. So start off with the broken ones. Before we get a few tiles out of here, I just want to say one thing about the knife that I was talking about from last week. A couple of people have bought them and sent me a few messages saying they can't close them. So I will just show you how that works. It's not actually a bit stiff. These are lock knives. So once you unlock it, once you open it, there's that click. And if you see down here, there's a little bar here that you need to push out the way, like so, to be able to close it. So once it's closed, you can open it freely, but once it's opened, it's actually locked. So you need to press that little bar across, and then that will release the blade so you can put it back. Well, there we go. Let's get a few tiles out. I'll leave a link to this knife down in the description if you're interested in checking it out. So yeah, go and check it out down there. Right, let's get these broken tiles sorted. Right, so replacing tiles is a nice simple job. Lift it up, pull it out, and just pop the next one in. Job done. So we'll fix this one here, just like that, nice and simple. Another one done. The power of editing again, and that's that. Another one bites the dust. Right, and the last one here, which is screwed in. So let's just, and there we go, all done. Right, move on. Right, next we're going to tackle this little lump here in the roof. Now all I need to do is just lift this tile off, probably a couple of tiles above it, because this tile is just overlapping on this tile, and I just need to either trim it down a bit or shimmy them all that way, or shimmy these ones this way. So let's get this done quickly so we can get on to some good stuff. Right, and there we go, that is looking much better. Now I understand there is still a tiny little lump in there, but I am no roofer. This is 100 million times better than it did look. But I did notice under there that the buttons are ever so slightly misaligned, so that is why there is a little lump in it. But I'm very happy with this. Like I say, I am no roofer, so this is perfect for me. Well, those are the easiest jobs of all, so let's cross them off the list and move on to the next one. So that was, the broken tiles have been sorted, and we have also fixed the lump in the roof tiles. Lovely. Right, next we will do the black muck to the ridge tiles. Right, so let's knock a little bit of black muck up and get to it. Right, we're up on the roof now. I've got a bucket full of 3-in-1 with black dye. There we go, it's just 3-in-1 soft sand to cement and a couple of cupfuls of black dye, just to give it that little effect, to match in with the clips that are on the roof tiles. As you can see, I've already got a bit of sand, a bit of muck in here with some old bits of tile just bedded in, so I'm just going to patch the ends in with black muck and we're good to go. So let's get to it. So that's the ends of the ridge tiles all packed in. Now what I'm going to do is, it's a little bit wet at the moment, but once it's dried off in a second, I'm just going to give it a little brush over and just tidy it up, because it's just a little bit unfinished at the moment. So yeah, I'll give it a little brush over and that'll make it look pucker. Right, that's something else we can knock off the list. Well, I think we can now knock off black muck to ridge tiles from the list. And what are we going to do next? Well, the next thing we're going to tackle is a bit of a brickwork mistake here. As you can see, we're missing 2 courses from the top here underneath the soffit, and also a little split through the top. Now, I remember why I forgot to do this as I was stood here staring at it. You can tell here that this brickwork is quite smudged. Now, when I was laying this, it was absolutely dumping down with rain. I do remember quite vividly, and I obviously covered it up, but I brushed it off while it was still wet, and it sort of smudged the ever-loving bejesus out of this brickwork. But I'm not, well, I was debating about taking it down to about here and relaying it so it's all cleaner, but I've just gone over it with my trowel and you can actually scrape it off. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to take it down, I'm just going to buzz it over with a wire brush and just sort of get those smudges out. I was saying that it was raining and I covered it up, and obviously I rubbed it over, and the reason I didn't get back to this is I must have just gone on to another bit after it was raining, completely forgot about this, and now we need to get back to it and put these last 2 courses in and get this finished off. And yeah, I will rub this over with a nice wire brush and just sort of tidy it up nicely so it'll come up looking trumps. Anyway, so let's stick a gauge in the mixer and let's lay some bricks. Good morning everyone, it is the next day. I'm sorry the little sequence yesterday was a little bit shorter and quite uneventful really. Basically a couple of things happened. One, my GoPro, if you follow me on Instagram by the way, Rodian_builds, my GoPro failed twice in recording some footage that I wanted, so that sort of put me in a bit of a, let's just say, not happy mood, because I'd lost like a good hour's worth of footage. And I just wasn't in the right frame of mind to film. This little bit of work here ended up being a complete bricklaying disaster. I kept bashing my head on the scaffolding. You know when you're at the top lift like up here, I'm going to show you it in a second, the top lift up here, you got the muck on the trowel and you're trying to put it up and it all just falls off, slapping down the wall. It was everything that could have gone wrong, would have gone wrong, and it just sort of put me in a bad frame of mind. Like I said, kept hitting my head on the scaffolding, on these nuts here, kept knocking my head on these. I know you're supposed to wear a hard hat and things like that, but I couldn't even get my head up here to see where I'm laying the bricks, let alone wear a hard hat. So I think that all started it off, and having to put a split course through the top here, again I'll show you in a second, having to put a split course through, and that just sort of peeved me off, and then losing all that GoPro footage just sort of put me over, and I was like, right, you know what, I think there are some scenes of me just swearing, but I have a funny feeling that I didn't have the mic on. Another thing, a lot of my stuff was gone because I didn't have the mic on. Anyway, point being, I was in a bit of a bad mood, so I stopped filming and I just got this done. So this section down here is pretty good, and you pan up And not only is it this section with the whole don't ever lay bricks while they're wet kind of situation, but at the top here it just does not look very nice. Well, it's okay, but and the mortar colour is still a little bit green, so it's got time to dry, so it should go this sort of colour. But the split course through the top I just don't like. It doesn't come up nicely at all. I'm tempted to take it all the way back down to about here, knock all that down and rebuild it, because I don't like how that looks. I'm going to wait until the scaffolding comes down to see if it is actually as bad as I think, and let this muck dry, because in all honesty I don't want to get up there and lay again with this scaffolding in the way. It's not high enough off the ground to worry about scaffolding. I'll just get a few bandstands and work off some bandstands. That's not a problem. So I'm going to leave it and see what it looks like when the scaffolding comes down. Give it a couple of months. If it looks okay after it's dried and weathered a bit, because the bricks at the top aren't weathered, these ones down here are weathered, and I'll give the smudged bricks a bit of a go over with a trowel and a wire brush to see how it comes up. But as it stands at the moment, there will probably be a future video of me knocking it down to around here somewhere, pulling all that out and redoing it. But like I said, we'll see how it looks when the scaffolding comes down and how it's been weathered. Yeah, it sort of took me aback yesterday a little bit. I was probably a little bit stroppy, I think. But anyway, I'm not going to shy away and say this is perfect. You guys know me. I like to be as honest as I can. This is not how brickwork should look. This I don't like. The rest of it I do like. I'm going to do something that I wasn't going to do. There is some brickwork to be done in the house. Now, because there was no cinematic build, which you all know me, I like doing cinematic builds, cinematic sequences, so we didn't get much of one hit on here yesterday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop down there and I'm going to do a cinematic sequence of me laying a few blocks. Comments down below. I think we should hear everyone's stories of laying in the rain, brickwork they've done that doesn't come up well, and stuff that you've had to take down. Let's hear some stories so that I don't feel like I'm the only bricklayer in the world who's rubbish every now and then. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to shy away from showing you what happens, and this has happened. I don't really mind the top part of it. The top part of it that I built yesterday was okay. I didn't like put that split course in, but that's, well, neither here nor there. It's this section here with the smudgings that I don't like. So yeah, the top bit, I'm not too worried about it. Let me show you around it again. It's not too bad. In fact, it's not that bad at all. It's come up all right. But it's just this bit that's really putting me off. This bit here. All the smudgings through here. I'll try and get it off, but I don't like it. It looks like there's a band of shite going straight the way through it. Anyway, right, I'm gonna go and get set up inside. We'll have a little bit of a sequence, and we'll move on and start taking a few things off the list. And there we go, we got a little bit of block work done. It's been every window on the first floor, just sort of a few little slips all the way around because the block work and the brickwork just didn't marry up properly. I've added cavity closers just to finish that off as well. This is not something you need to do when doing the windows. You don't have to do the bottom part in cavity closers. I just like to do it just to tidy it up, stop crap getting stuck down there and things like that. So just popped a few of those in to finish that off. Right, now we can cross a few things off our list. Well, it's actually only one thing we can cross off the list. We got missing bricks, so we'll get rid of that. It would have been 2, but I added on the little bit of block work inside just to sort of get a little bit of bricklaying, a bit of a sequence going on. Okay, so what do we have that is left? We got lead to the chimney, clear the scaffolding, jet wash and drop scaffolding. So the next thing we're going to be doing is the most difficult out of all of those. Finish the lead on the chimney. So let's get up there and do that. As you can see, I've spent a little bit of time and I've cleared the scaffolding. I've done the last few bits off camera because clearing the scaffolding, jet washing the dormers, it's not exactly riveting stuff, so I've decided to just take the initiative and just do that off camera. And also, if we go up top, I'll show you about the lead. I've got some of it in there, it's not finished, but the piece that I was about to put in, I've actually made a mistake on it, so I need to get some new lead. The only trouble was that was my last piece of usable lead. There are a couple of bits down there that are crap, but so I need to go out and get some more lead. I'm going to finish the last of this lead and the last bits are clearing up off camera because it's probably not the most riveting of stuff to watch. So if you are interested in watching this entire house build from the beginning, then click this playlist here. If you're interested in learning how to lay bricks, then click this playlist here. Subscribe down below if you aren't already to join the Brick Army, and I will see you all in the next episode. So take care and I'll see you then. Ta-ra.